12 hours at a time. What I believe you ought to do, either on YouTube or Twitch, creativity, you go under their creative category. I think Paracon needs to be streamed.
Oh yeah, since we're on the topic of the FMP, of the Paracon T-shirts, I was wearing mine up here in town the other day, about a month ago, and ran into one of FMP's listeners. And the only thing I can tell you is that his name was Murray. He had wanted to come down to the Paracon, but he couldn't arrange it at the time.
And it's funny, you know. I know we get listened to, because I encounter people in Skagit County here and there that, oh wow, I've heard of S-4. I listened to it, and I go, really? Cool. You know, because we get numbers, sure, but you don't always get accurate numbers. You just don't.
No.
So with that, you don't ever fully know who's really listening.
I will say, Chris, with what you said about being told that it's weird to be in this type of group and to do the Paracon thing and everything. The thing is, you got to look, how long did Comic-Cons sit in the sidelines until they became mainstream? And they are honestly mainstream now. But the thing is, you still get people that say, you go to Comic-Con, you are such a nerd. Like, my dad tells me that I'm going to the Barbie convention every year. He makes fun of me constantly for going to those. But it is a mainstream thing.
You're always going to have the haters out there. You're always going to have them. And I think the bigger the
hater, he just loves to bug me.
Right, but I think if this Paracon got big, we would still have people out there that, you know, the non-believers. Oh, this is, you know, not right, and the protesters and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, I'm about to find myself like Michael has and get a Chewy and ride around with Chewy all day.
Well, on the flip side of that too, we have security to handle the protesters. I don't worry about protesters, because you're absolutely right. You know how many death threats I've gotten? Quite a few. I don't worry about them. The minute they come towards my house, well, that changes the whole scenario, and I'll deal with them. But until that happens, I don't worry about them. Haters are going to hate. Threats are going to happen.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Say again?
They hate us because they ain't us.
No, well, that's right. True, too. That's true, too. But, yeah, I don't have time to sit and worry about haters. So I move on.
Nope. And then, you know, eventually something will happen to them, and they're going to go, oh, my God, this stuff is real.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
I get the same thing in the metaphysical field all the time.
Yeah.
And those two fields are starting to overlap even more and more now.
And it's, you know, going back, Keith, to what you said about the medical field, I'm over 50, and, man, that's old. And I've had surgeries and medical stuff going on, but it's kind of sad that when I started this extended care and working with grounding and shielding, I never knew so much about the human body until I started doing this, and it's all about energy. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like I've been on medication for years for anxiety, and I can sit and shield myself, and boom, takes my anxiety away. And I was like, this is so strange, but it's so cool to learn. And Eric, it goes right along with what you said, natural medicine. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how that happens.
Yeah, because every one of the wavelengths, you know, when you start looking at sound, light, and magnetism, you can modify the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, it's just amazing how it's helped me so much. So like I said, Eric, I will stay in the extended care. Do not have me chase aliens.
We don't pick and choose. You're going to be right up there underneath the craft. Darn it.
I'm just saying, I'll go over there. But if they pull out their probe, I'm pulling out mine.
The pineapple. Get the pineapple.
Pineapple, yes.
You know what? I want to close the show, though, with this, because Keith brought up the perfect point, that the metaphysical and the paranormal are crossing over. And I want to bring up that they've always crossed over.
Yes, but now they're crossing over in mainstream.
Well, they are, but they're not, because, you know, I'm going to irk a lot of people by saying this. And the Forest Moon Paranormal is a mix of all belief systems. But Forest Moon Paranormal started, and at the core of the team is pagan. Now, when I do promos, my promos go in all various aspects of paranormal groups, but they also go in pagan groups. And I've gotten beat up by the pagan community as well. Why are you doing paranormal in a pagan group? Well, it's very simple. Because, and it's a real easy explanation why I would be asked that. Because in our belief system, the paranormal in all reality is normal part of life. We deal with spirits. We deal with the fae. I think the only aspect pagans don't deal with is the alien. But that goes with the paranormal. Now,
the reason I mentioned that it's crossing over more and more is I used to only get calls from people regarding things like psychic phenomenon.
Right.
Lately, I've been getting calls from people wanting to know about possible abductions that they may have gone through.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by it's crossing over more and more.
Okay. Now, what people need to understand, though, and you know, when certain belief systems are experiencing the paranormal as a normal routine and as a part of their life because of their practice, they don't see mainstream religions who are experiencing spirits in their home and they're going, oh my God, it's a demon. Or, oh my God, what's going on? You know, and bottom line, yeah, what we do, that's why, and that's a big reason why we don't see it as evidence, because we know the paranormal's there. There's no question.
Yep.
Now, what you have to determine, though, and, you know, we've got haters in FMP that go, everything's just pareidolia. No, it's not. Now, not everything is paranormal. I get that. There is pareidolia in some pictures and some videos, but not all of them.
Oh, absolutely.
And you don't ridicule someone posting a picture or a video and mock them because it's just pareidolia. They don't know until you have someone analyze it. You know, sure, a lot of people take a picture and there's you can see their thumb in the corner of it, or it's dust. I mean, I can show you 11 billion pictures of dust that looks like orbs. I hate orb pictures. But you can also tell the real orb from the fake. Or not the fake, but from the dust, from the bugs. You can tell by the color, you can tell by the movement. So we're coming down to 8 minutes before the end of the show. And yes, we could go another hour very easily. We're not going to. We'll go to a 3-hour show. We listen to our listeners. And you know how much we could expand on? A whole lot.
More probing.
Yeah.
No.
Really,
I do want to hear Michael's second question, though.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Well, it was a big one. I was going to save this one for the end, but
what do you think this is?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we have time to discuss it, but here we.
Oh, we have 5 minutes to tear it apart.
If you had the ultimate UFO smoking gun memo, what would you do with it, and how?
I'd post it in FMP library.
Boom.
That's what I do with it. But there's so much fake stuff going around. Yeah, and we could talk about this for a whole other show, but there's so much CGI, so many fake pictures, so much fake documents. How do you know what's real and what's not? I mean, until an alien goes and slaps them in the face, they're still going to say it was a demon.
No, that's what I was saying. That this was clarifying that if you actually had the ultimate UFO smoking gun or memo, if it's been vetted and you have it, then the real question comes down to, what the heck are you going to do?
I get some.
I would.
The paranormal lawyer.
Right. I would get it out to as much like news and TV, but I would attach FMP to it.
There you go.
That's what I would do.
Make it a group effort to guard it, protect it, talk about it, and validate it, and then also try to make sure that it does not get into the hands of the wrong people.
And that's why I would bring in to Michael first to protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you don't send it to the Pentagon. That's for sure.
This is where I get off lucky. In a sense, I had the ultimate smoking gun. I met one. Ended up with a photograph of it, and he told me, "Don't show the photograph. You can show the photograph in person, but don't send it anywhere until I get permission for you to do so." Right. It took me a year for me to hear back from him. Yeah, and I got told by a lot of people. I took a lot of flack for it, but, it doesn't exist. It's like, well, you can think what you will.
Mm-hmm.
What was it a picture of, Keith, or can you say?
Oh, yeah, I can tell you exactly what it was. I met one. We had a hybrid Pleiadian show up at the Experience Your Speak Experience Your Speak Paracon over in Portland, Maine.
Ooh.
And I kid you not, when these guys left the building, I watched them literally dematerialize before they got outside. And when I did the investigation by talking to other witnesses, found out that's how they showed up, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I remember you talking about that before.
See, that's what I'd like to witness.
Yeah, but what would you do with that? How would you explain that away?
What would I do with it?
Yeah.
Well, I can talk, and if I see something like that, I know I could convince at least one person. But then why do I have to convince? If I saw it and I know it, then that's my verification.
That's the whole key right there.
Yeah.
No matter how many people tell you it's real, until you see it, most people are going to have trouble accepting it.
Oh, they do already. They do already.
Right, like that woman I saw that was alien in human body. That really kind of freaked me out, but it's like, whoa, this is reality. You hear about it, you can't imagine it, but when you meet one and one's talking to you, it's a reality slap in the face.
At least
usually they're using a spike 2x4.
Right.
Did it look as bad as Edgar from Men in Black?
No.
No, you couldn't tell. Well, I could tell a little bit by her. I could tell a little bit by her movements and her speech, but nothing else. I couldn't see anything.
So we have 3 minutes left. What is the topic for Blue Book this week? Does anyone know?
No idea.
I don't either. Has anyone seen the trailer?
No, but if you go to your TV guide and you look ahead, I can't do it right now because mine's not hooked up. But if you go to your TV guide and you look ahead at the time slot,